Hello, friends. So I was incredibly confident when I filmed my February TBR video about a week ago that I would be finishing my January TBR. Now, I had a burst of inspiration when it came to writing, and so I once again sort of didn't read much, and so I have 2 days left in January. And well, five books to read? So that's kind of the plan for the next day and a half. It's already 3:30. It's not like I have that much time left, and I'm like out for half of the day tomorrow, but still need to finish the first Crimson Sky, especially given that I want to start the second book in a couple days. Still need to finish Crown of Midnights, but I'm like almost 70% through or something, so progress, we love it. About 4 to 5% through Breaker, which is gonna be a doozy. It's gonna take a while. And then I still need to read The Empty Room by Brian McGilloway and Gifted and Talented by Olivia Blake. If by tomorrow night I have this left, I can be proud of myself, because this is the last one that I will start. Because I know this is going to take me days to read. So this is going to be a starting in January, finishing in February book. If I can somehow manage to finish these two tonight, perfection. And so that's honestly what we're gonna be doing now. Okay, so I just finished book 1 of Crimson Sky by Kira Licht, which is called Die Seelenjägerin, and I am honestly a little split in my opinion about this book, because it is still very much a Kira Licht book, and I really, really enjoy her books. But I feel like for this one, the pacing was a little off sometimes. And this is the first one that I would classify more as like new adult and a bit spicier. And I very quickly realized that I don't think I can read and or listen to like spicy scenes that were written in German. Every single time I got so uncomfortable. I like some of the smut I've read should make me uncomfortable, right? But like, it didn't. It was more like, ooh, you too. And it's like, but here it made me so uncomfortable, and I think it was partially because it was in German. Like, there's this whole like sort of joke thing where it's like, oh, you read smut in English, and it's like, and then you read smut in your native language, and it's like, oh god, no. Especially German one, it just like, I think it's the words that are like used. And it just like, it made me so uncomfortable that honestly, I think I would have just preferred it if it was like more like PG 13, like a little bit of kissing or something maybe, but like nothing like what actually happened. And it's not even like, I don't even want to know what yeah, so I really, really enjoyed the story. I am interested to see what happens next book. I am going to be so uncomfortable with the smutty scenes in the next book. But honestly, I like the storyline enough to be able to like look past it. It just definitely is going to lower the rating. I don't know what I'm gonna rate it yet. Usually, like, Kira Licht's like books are somewhere in the 4 to 4.5 star range for me, generally speaking. So it might be a 3.5 star. It is sad that the smut literally like decreases the rating by that much, but that's how uncomfortable it made me. And it's great to know. It is great to know that I will never be reading anything new adult or something in German. I will be staying with my YA fantasies. When I read German, thank you very much. But that also means that I just finished book one of my 5 books that I'm trying to read. I just realized that Crown of Midnight is down there, which is the next book I'm going to read, because that is going to take me, I don't know how much I have left, like an hour and a half, hour 45 or something. It's 7:30, so I should be able to finish that tonight. So I have finally finished my reread of Crown of Midnight, and I'm saying this as if I've been reading this for like weeks and weeks. No, it's just been years and years in the making. And I have always loved, sort of like, since reading it for the first time, the way that certain things are revealed at the end of this book. I am still talking spoiler free. I feel like at this point, even if you haven't read this, you know, but in case anyone hasn't read yet and does not know, I'm not saying it. Anyway, I really enjoy it. I'm glad I finally read this, and I do really, really want to start the next one, because I realized that is also a reread. I have read the 3rd book before, which is on me. I should have just continued reading it. But that is book 2 down, and we are at... It's 9:12. Oh, 21, 1, 2. I like that number. Anyway, it's 9:15 in the evening, which means that I should have a little bit more time to read something in Realmbreaker, which is going to be great, because that is going to... That should, like, depending on how much I can still read tonight in this, it could mean that I'd have about 2 hours tomorrow to read in this, which would mean that I could also finish this tomorrow, which is the plan, right? Like, it's the plan. Whether the plan is going to be planning, I don't know. Imagine me actually managing to finish all of this. I did not have faith in me, to be honest. Let me know if you had more faith in me. Okay, so I made it a little bit further into Realmbreaker last night. I didn't read for a full hour. I think I only read for like 30 to 45 minutes, but I am now definitely like 55 to 60% through. And damn! That was rude! Anyway, today in the morning, which it technically still is, instead of like picking this up, I started the empty room. And I am unsure, because I'm not sure about the characters yet. There are like a handful that I'm like, ooh, I don't like you. And I don't quite know what's going to happen. I have a feeling that something weird is gonna be happening. And I don't know. I think I'm gonna DNF. I have not made it much further, honestly. I'm now on page 46, 47. Oh my god. So the thing is, I went online and I sort of tried to figure out how this book ends because I honestly, which should have been my first clue. Like, why would I want to get spoilers for myself with a thriller? You know, that doesn't make sense. I asked ChatGPT. I don't know why, but it just felt so much easier. And it's like, if you like this, 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 and that, you should definitely continue reading. And I was like, I hate this, this, and that. So, like, maybe not for me. And then I went on Goodreads, and when I am unsure about a book and whether I like it or not and should continue it, I always look at the 1, 2, and 3-star reviews on Goodreads because it's mostly like, if a person gives it 2 stars or DNFs it or whatever for the same reasons that I'm not liking the book, it is unlikely that I will enjoy it. And so I did that, and I was like, damn. Okay, so those that have DNF'd it and given it sort of low ratings were also complaining about some of the things that I'm feeling unsure about. And then there was a person who rated it 3 stars and like was like, oh, I really like this and this part and that part. And like, I'm like, oh my god, that's like literally a lot of the stuff that I'm not enjoying. What would happen if I read this? But honestly, the thing that got me thinking the most is the fact that this book is basically a characterization of a mother's grief and like how she spirals. And I'm like, okay, don't take this the wrong way, but like, how can a man write that? Like, I feel like, okay, so this is going to be a super unreliable narrator. The mom is pissing me the frick off because it's like, oh no, she was happy here, she was happy here, despite realizing that, like, she did not know her daughter. Like, at least not in the way she thought she did. And we already know that within, like, the first 50 pages. And it's like, oh my god, what is going to be happening with the rest of it? So I'm DNFing. Long story short, I'm DNFing. Because I cannot do that to myself, if that makes sense. So, unfortunately not. So it's going on my unhaul shelf, probably. Because I can't. I can't. Nope. Nope. Oh, actually, I still need to track how much I read in it before I just put it away. But that is that book down. I am honestly kind of impressed with the fact that I knew. How did I know? Like, I picked this up, I started reading, and I was like, this could be a likely DNF. And it is a DNF. I'm getting so much better at recognizing that. But anyway, that means it is back to Rombreaker. And then it's just Gifted and Talented left. Again, I might be able to finish this tonight. I will not be finishing this, but I will be starting it. And that is the important bit. Okay. So I finished Realm Breaker literally like a minute ago, and I'm really happy that I have finally read this. Is this one of my favorite books? No. Do I still think it is going to be a fun series to read? Yes. I know why I didn't finish it the first time I tried it. We have a lot of points of view, so if you are not a fan of that, I don't think I can recommend that because there are a lot of points of view, and I did have a little bit of trouble sort of following that in the beginning, but it's actually not that difficult once you've sort of gotten to know all of the characters. And I really like the world. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings movies. I honestly prefer the movies over the books, which doesn't happen a lot. Does with those books though. So it's really fun to like sort of read something that is loosely based on that. And if I had to choose a favorite character, it would be the old sorceress, like the old witch. Because we have a squire, an immortal, an assassin, an old sorceress, and a pirate's daughter. We don't have a like point of view from the witch's like perspective, and I really, really hope we will get one in the second or third book, even though I sort of feel like we might not, because it would probably just like tell us too much too soon. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I just realized I didn't say any of the ratings. I'll just do that later. Yeah, but overall, I think this is a really good start. The pacing was a bit off, I think, sometimes, but that's just my personal preference. Overall, I'm really happy I finally read the first book. And it also means that I've actually done what I set out to do, which is absolutely amazing. And I am going to start this and maybe read the first chapter or two before going to bed, so I can say, yeah, I've actually gotten this off of my TBR. But I just haven't finished it yet. Hello, so let's wrap this video up. I got myself an iced matcha latte, but with a twist. So I actually have vanilla syrup in there, maple syrup, and a little bit of turmeric. I think that's the English word. In German we say Kurkuma. I don't know. But it's so good. The joy of a nice beverage is just peak. So, given that I got my little drink, let's quickly talk books. And let's honestly just go like this. Okay, so I DNF this. It is not for me. Several reasons. And I think the biggest one is that I just do not like the characters, especially our main character. And given that this is a sort of journey through her grief and spiraling, you kind of need to like her to be able to finish this book. Unfortunately, I don't, so this is, in fact, a DNF. I'm gonna have to talk to a friend of mine because I'm pretty sure we both bought this book together, so I want to see if she has read it, and if yes, what she thought, because she likes more variety when it comes to books. Like, she has a bigger scope of things she likes. Sometimes I envy her for it. Sometimes I don't, because let's be honest, I only have well, I don't want to say a handful, but like I have a smaller selection of books I can choose from, which is still a lot. And I am learning which books those are. And buying a random book is most definitely going off my to-do list. Because it does not end well for me, generally speaking. Okay. Then I've also got Realm Breaker by Victoria Aveyard. I'm really happy I finally read this. I ended up giving it 3.5 stars. I think it's a good start to the trilogy. I like the Hobbit, Lord of the Rings vibes. I especially love our old batshit crazy witch that we seem to have. And I actually don't think I'm gonna wait too long to continue. So I don't think I'll have time in February because short month, but hopefully we'll see what fate decides for me on my March TBR, but maybe I'm lucky and I get Blade Breaker as a pick for March. So yeah, I'm really excited. Then I've got Crimson Sky, Die Seelenjägerin by Kira Licht, and I also gave this 3.5 stars. It could have been higher rated if I hadn't been so weirded out by the spicy scenes. They were very cringe. May have something to do with the fact that it's German and some of the words used in the German language are just not connected for good spice. So, unfortunately, that definitely reduced the rating. I also don't know if Kira Licht should necessarily write spice. I really enjoyed all her like really mellow, really cutesy YA like love subplots in her books so far. That was honestly a bit of a twist, a bit of a shock moment for me. Yeah, so it's the 1st of February, so I am starting the second book in this duology, and I'm excited to see where the story goes. I'm gonna see what I'm gonna do with the spice. I'm just gonna shut off my brain, I think, and skip it. Maybe. I don't know yet. We will see, but it is a gorgeous book, so that's definitely speaking for this one. Then I finished my reread of Crown of Midnight. Crown of Midnight I gave 4.25 stars. I really enjoy these books. I really enjoy Selena. I really like her as a character, and knowing what I know of where the story is going, despite not having read all of it yet, the whole will they, won't they in the beginning, in the first few books with like 2 other characters, it's kind of hilarious to me. I finished it, 4.25 stars, really happy, and I will in fact be reading the 3rd book, well, rereading technically, the 3rd book in February. It's not on my TBR, but it is like a secret, well, not so secret anymore, TBR that I have for myself. So finally, I'm actually doing what I said I would be doing for the past like 3 years, which is read Throne of Glass to then also be able to read ACOTAR. Ow. And then I'm going to count this as having succeeded, because I did in fact start Gifted and Talented by Olivia Blake last night. I did not get far. I got like 30 something pages in. More like 30 to 40. But it's a start, which means that technically it is off my physical TBR because it is now on my currently reading list. And I'm gonna count that as having accomplished my January TBR. I don't care what you're gonna say, I know it's not finished, but it has started, and that is honestly the most important point, because for me, a lot of the times, just starting a book is like the most difficult part. It's a little bit like with tasks that you're procrastinating on. It's especially when books are like big. For me, it's like it just like I'm basically procrastinating on the book, which is ridiculous because I love reading and most of the books I actually do enjoy quite a bit. But it's just that fear of pain that happens what happens with procrastination, how your brain is basically tricking you into thinking, oh, start like doing this is going to be physically painful to you, which it's not, but like it's your brain. Anyway, so having actually restarted this, amazing. Honestly, it was the same thing with this. So having both of these on my January TBR actually worked out beautifully. Same with Crown of Midnight. Honestly, my TBR for January was peak in terms of getting me to actually get started on reading a lot of things that I've been like procrastinating on. So yeah. There are some really good ones on my February TBR as well, I gotta admit. But I've started it. It's technically off of my physical TBR because it's on my currently reading. I hope I can finish this within the next week. That's sort of the goal. It's really big. It's gonna take me a really long time to read. So if I can read like an hour or something every day, I should be able to read it within a week. That's the plan. And I am really happy with the fact that I actually did end up getting all of these books off my physical TBR before January concluded. So that's it from me. I'm feeling so good and so happy about this, which is honestly such a blessing. And honestly, I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think about some of these books because at least some of them I'm sure some of you have read. So let me know. And thank you for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!